Hi. So to create a new client, we can either go to System Setup and display all the clients where we can actually update an existing client, or we can go back to the list and say add a new client. Or alternatively, if we were right at the beginning of the system and it says apply for open contract policy, we click on open policy and we've got the empty screen full of the fields that need to be completed. So the client could be a business or an individual. If it's an individual, it will ask us information such as the ID number. If it's a business, it will ask us information such as the company registration number and VAT number. If we don't have it, we can click on these check boxes TBA, which stands to be advised. So let's create a code. So this is purely for quick referencing of the client. Let's call him test 1234. That will be the name of the client, and or the code anyway. The name can be anything. Registration number, VAT number, put them in if you have them, otherwise click on to be advised. If you have a website, put it in. The more information you put in, the more likely to get that you will get a quick return for your request for quotation, and also the more likely that you'll get a better rate. So then we want the contact details of the individual. So even though it is a business, we want contact details of the individual, and everything that you have, put it in. We then want the physical address of the enterprise. So the unit number and the complex name is not compulsory, but the street name is compulsory. So key in whatever it is, and the suburb, and let's put in say Fairmount. Alright, so that's the suburb, and then we put in the postal code. Then we require the billing address. Now, if the billing address is the same as the physical address, you don't have to fill it in. You can just click on that checkbox and all those fields will disappear because it's the same as the physical address. We then need the payment type, but this refers only to the one-off policies, not to the open policies. The open policies are automatically always on bordereau. Okay, and if you were updating, you could disapprove the customer, but it'd be creating a new client, and therefore it will be approved and enabled. This checkbox is quite important because if we leave it on, then the first time that the client will sign on, it will ask him to change his password. In other words, to replace the password that you are putting in and put in his own. So let's uncheck it. This is the name that he will use as a username to sign on, and I'm going to put in Arnold1234. But it could be an email address, and if you use the email address, it can be used for forgot password type of requests. And then we can put in the initial password, and I'm going to put in test123 as an initial password. There are certain rules, but the rules are all explained on the screen. Now, if this was a client for one-off policy, we could just say save or save and back. But if it's going to be a client for an open policy and we want to request a quotation for an open policy, then we press request for quotation, and in a few moments the screen will change. Okay, it didn't change because there was an error, which is fine. Didn't put in the name of the person, so we need the name of the person who is going to log in, and optionally a email address. So let's now press request for quotation, and now it's changed. Okay, the name is already used, so let's key in. So you can't use a username that you've logged in before. So let's put in 12345. That will certainly get accepted. So now we press request for quotation, and I'm sure third time lucky we are going to get through. And now we are on the second screen where we give all the information about the turnovers that we expect and the claims, etc. And for that we have a separate video